going on, guys? AJ Bunch back here with another YouTube video for you. We're in the shop getting the car ready for Flat Rock on Saturday. So if you're in the area, make sure you come check it out. They're thinking around 20 cars or so. It's a companion event with the Great Lakes Legend Series. So thank you to those guys for coming across the border and kind of making this a Michigan-Canada shootout. So it should be a pretty good show. This video is kind of a topic I've been thinking about for a while. So I'm gonna tell you guys the three probably easiest ways to get into racing. I know it took me a long time to get into racing, but if I can put this video out to help people be able to get into it earlier, or see that there are multiple different ways to get into the sport even if you're not in the car, and help people grow the sport, that's what we're trying to do on this channel. So the first way is going to be just go to the track and help people in the pits. The second is actually iRacing, and then the third is getting a car. So we'll break those down, and yeah. So your first way is going to be just go to the track, ask if you can volunteer, help. Even if you don't know a ton about cars, this is a great way to learn about the workings of race cars and everything before you get your own car, or if you end up liking just being a crew guy, that's cool too. I know I enjoy every time I go and help my buddies, but when we first started, I got in touch with 2 or 3 guys who are now actually my closest friends, and we still have daily conversations about racing and life in general. So you just go and ask if you can volunteer. You'll start out with tire pressures, tire temperatures, torquing wheels, simple stuff like that. They may ask you to like nut and bolt check, which is super simple. You just check and make sure the bolts are tight. But as you develop a knowledge of the race car, they'll let you do more things. So I know eventually I got to the point where I was able to know enough about the race car where when we bought our car, I knew pretty much where everything was. I mean, obviously there was still some stuff I needed help on, but especially in these legend cars, it's super simple to pick up. So that's probably your easiest and simple way, is just go to the track, see if you can volunteer. Everybody in this day and age is looking for help, like I said, and that's actually some of the stuff I enjoy the most, is just going, hanging out with friends. The racing community is a family, and you guys, if you're trying to get into the sport, will kind of see that. And let me know in the comments, like, if you have super close friends who are in the racing community, just because I know that especially up here in Michigan, everybody is super tight knit, and everybody will do anything for anybody. So that's your first way to get into the sport, and it's probably one of my favorite ways aside from the driving aspect. So next we'll get into the iRacing aspect. So your next option is going to be the iRacing aspect. I personally got into iRacing, I want to say close to 10 years ago, and it's developed a long way from them. So I started out doing it on a laptop. So that just goes to show you, you can do it on pretty much any computer you have. There's a ton of different graphic settings to accommodate any computer you have. So more than likely you'll be able to iRace without having to go out and buy a new $500–600 computer. You can get a good wheel for iRacing for around $200 to $400. So it's a little bit, it's obviously a lot less than buying a race car. But I find that iRacing is a super helpful tool. It helps you learn racecraft. It doesn't help you necessarily learn like the feel of an actual car, but it's probably the closest thing that I've seen that's available to the public. And I know we get on there and have a great time. A lot of your local racers will actually be on iRacing, so you can develop relationships there too. And that's kind of the cool thing about iRacing. It's just another platform so you can gain knowledge, and you can develop your racecraft before you actually get into a car. And it helps the learning curve not be as steep from what I found, because I know when obviously I started out in iRacing, and I know it only took us 2 or 3 races to get a handle on our car when we got into it. So some stuff comes for free. I want to say they give you like 8 cars and 5 or 6 tracks for free. The subscription isn't super costly. You can do it monthly, 3 monthly, yearly. They have a subscription for everybody. So that's probably another way that I would recommend just trying it out. See if you like the racing aspect. You can learn a lot from iRacing. And the next thing we're going to talk about is actually getting into a race car. So lastly, it's going to be owning a race car. It doesn't matter whether or not you buy a 4-cylinder, a street stock, modified legend car, late model. What you want to do when you're first getting into the sport is get into an entry-level class. So your legend cars, your 4-cylinders, your street stocks, those are going to be your typical entry-level classes, especially if you don't have any background in racing. Those cars are going to let you get into it for a decent price and still figure out whether or not it's something you're going to want to do in the long haul. So I know our first legend car was around $7,000, but that came with a ton of extras, and I did a video on that of what it costs to get into legend racing. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go check it out. I'll put a link to it in the description. And your next thing is just going to be make sure you're enjoying racing before you go all out into the bigger classes that are going to cost a ton of money. So run your 4-cylinder, your street stock, your legend car for 2-3 years. See if you like it. See if you want to put the time and effort into it. If you're developing your skill level, and it's just kind of going to come down to don't be stupid. Don't put yourself into a ton of debt trying to race when you could go and help somebody at the racetrack who needs help for the cost of a pit pass. I find that going and helping my friends is as fun as owning a race car and driving a race car sometimes. Obviously, driving a race car is more fun when you're in the race car, but when it comes down to like getting in wrecks and stuff, if you're the one just helping, you don't have to worry about the one who's footing the bill. So just make sure when you go to own a race car, you talk with some local guys. Make sure you come up with a good car that's going to be safe. Safety is the number one thing on my end. So if it's not a safe race car, it's not worth buying. That's a good thing about these legend cars is they're all super safe. They all come from U.S. Legends, and very rarely do you ever see someone getting hurt in one of these things. So that's just kind of some of my views on how you can get into the sport. Like I said, if you're just trying to get into it, learn more about it, everybody's always looking for help. So you can go to your local track, get in touch with some local racers. They'll walk you through how to work on race cars. It's all about trying to grow the sport. So if we can even get 2 or 3 people out to a racetrack supporting drivers or end up getting race cars, it makes it worth it. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video helped you, and we will finish getting ready for Flat Rock. It's should be a good show. They're expecting around 20 cars, like I said, and we should be pretty good. We found some stuff in the car that we changed, and it just kind of is one of those things where we didn't get to test, so we were kind of trying some different things, and we're going back to more of our baseline setup. So make sure you come out and watch. I think gates open up at 5 with practice and qualifying and stuff like that, and races start at 7. I believe we're doing heats and features, so I don't know exactly how the Great Lakes format works, but some form of heat races, and I think that'll either put us into a redraw or set the lineup for the feature. So make sure you come out to Flat Rock on Saturday, June 3rd, and make sure if you see us, say hi. And if you're wanting to know more about like t-shirts and stuff, those are in the works, and I'll kind of have a design to the public for people to pre-order or purchase here shortly. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. All helps us out. We really enjoy interacting with you guys, and this stuff is fun for us. So we'll see you guys out at the track on Saturday for Flat Rock, and hopefully it's a good show. Hopefully have a good time. And I think our goal for this week is just top 5, just because we've never raced with these guys. This is a new track for me, and just when I go to a new track, my goal is more top 5 than anything. So we'll go try to accomplish that goal, and yeah, thank you guys for watching.